Yes, Palista.
On behalf of Chennai chapter, I welcome you all for today's wonderful session to be led by Mohan sir. And I request our member Jayadas ma'am to please welcome and introduce the speaker for today. Over to Jayadas ma'am.
Thank you, Felista. Good afternoon to all our dignity members. Now today, I'm so happy to introduce Mr. Mohan Krishnan, our speaker for today's topic, Crisis Management Lessons from Ramayan. Mr. Mohan Krishnan is a retired GM from Reserve Bank. He is also a happiness coach, storyteller, and a wellness curator. At the age of 29, Mohanji studied Vedanta, and it transformed him to a gentler human being. He uses stories from Ramayan, Mahabharata, Kabir Das couplets in his training sessions. He loves to sing, he loves to act, and he loves to write as well. Now today's topic, crisis management lessons. Now, how can we cope with critical situations? We should know how to de-stress ourselves, and we should know how to handle the challenging situations with peace. Now, let us all listen to Mohanji's presentation on crisis management lessons from Ramayan. Over to you, Mr. Mohan Krishnan.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm not using any mic or something. Am I audible clearly?
Yes, audible.
I'm not using any mic. And what I would suggest is, in between, if anyone wants to answer a question, I would reserve the last 10 minutes for any kind of questions. But in case there is something, you can always raise your hand in that reaction. So, Jai Shri Ram, Jai Hanuman. The time, according to Vedic culture, is divided into yugas. We have the first yuga called the Satya Yuga. The second yuga is called the Treta Yuga. The third yuga is called Dwapara Yuga. And we are now in Kali Yuga, first quarter. So how do you know we are in the first quarter? So people who do Sankalpa, they will be saying, Kali Yuge Pratame Pade. That means you are in the first quarter. Now, according to the Vedic culture, what is the goal of the Vedic culture? Is it meant only for India? In India, is it meant only for one religious denomination? What is the purpose and how is it constructed? I'm not going elaborately into the subject. I'm going to take only one small section of that. The Vedic culture is for human beings in general. It is for Manushya. It is for the Purusha. Purusha means man, woman, both included. It is for universal values. And the values are given in the form of certain texts. In the text, they talk about values in very plain terms. And these are said to have come not from one brain, but from a number of people. It is not one man's creation. It is a number of wise people's creation. Those wise people are called by the term Rishi. Rishi means one who has insight, one who has a vision. Like for instance, Isaac Newton is a Rishi. Your Albert Einstein is a Rishi. Thomas Alva Edison is a Rishi. Going by the same standard, your, what's his name, the Windows man, Bill Gates is a Rishi. Steve Jobs are Rishis. They have vision on how to make things work. So there are a lot of Rishis who have created so much. And there are texts available. And the Rishis have also felt, and the Rishis and the subsequent other wise people who have come after them have felt, that if we can make the whole thing available in the form of stories, the form of episodes, and give the people the freedom to interpret it according to the times. If the universal values can be interpreted according to times, it will be of help for humans for all time to come. That is the purpose. Ramayan and Mahabharata, and we'll be well on Ramayan today, maybe some other time we'll go into Mahabharata. Ramayan and Mahabharata are referred to as Itihasa. Itihasa means it so happened, it's history. They are also referred to as Amara Kavya. Amara Kavya means immortal poems. Therefore, a historic incident told in poetic language. For example, there was a person called Rama. History. Now the poet comes. He was tall, handsome. His hands reached up to his knees. And when he walked, it looked like it was jingle bells all the way. And the poet composed. He said, Thumak chalat Ramachandra, Thumak chalat Ramachandra. So history, poetry. History, poetry. Therefore, Itihasa, Amara Kavya. The purpose is not to determine whether Ramayan happened or not. It doesn't matter. What matters is, what can we learn from Ramayan, which we can apply to our life today? Not today, now. Between 4 and 5 and after. Oh yeah, good, I will apply it in my 80th year. Then I ask my well, not apply. This is valid only for 20-year-olds. I may as well not apply. It should be valid for me now. Otherwise, it's not worth investing time and heart in the subject. That's how I've picked up some episodes. I picked up some nice stories, which I'll be sharing with you today. Okay, so let's start. The kingdom is called Koshala, and the capital of Koshala is Ayodhya. There's a king lived there, Dasharatha. He had 3 wives. Sumitra, youngest. Kaikeyi, second and the most beautiful. First one, Kaushalya. According to the practices of the royals, they always had more than one consort. Quite simply for political reasons. So if you marry the princesses around your kingdom, so much of buffer state is created. So if you go to Mahabharata, they'll say Pandu married a person, Kunti, and the other person, Madri. Madri came from Madhya Pradesh. Madhya Pradesh is Egypt, Afghanistan, beyond Afghanistan border. So if you had a queen from there, you're protected buffer state. So the royals married more than once for the sake of political convenience. In that Treta Yuga, when people married for political convenience, we had an icon, Sri Ram. The name Purushottam Ram applies only for Ram. You can't put it for anybody else. Because he is a Purusha Uttama. An icon for a Purusha. How should a man be? That's the beauty of Rama. And Ram stands for 3 things. I'm sure there are some dance artists here, dance artists who know Bharatanatyam and other such dances. You would always show Ram like this. Ram always stands straight. Right hand like this stands for Dharma. Meaning appropriate action all the time. Mindfulness all the time. He looks straight ahead. No point of time you will ever find Rama reclining. Rama stands straight, looks straight ahead. Clarity of vision. He stands for clarity of vision. Stand straight, depth of foundation. Depth of foundation on moral values and integrity. And holds a bow in his hand. Uncompromising pursuit of truth. lessons for you and me. If these are the values, even if we can follow relatively, see, we are senior citizens, dignitarians. What do we need in this age? 60 plus, what do we need? I need dignity. I don't demand respect. I don't demand respect. I command respect by my dignity. I conduct myself so well, so properly that respect comes to me. I don't have to go looking for respect. The depth of my moral foundation, my integrity is so strong that my children and grandchildren are afraid to do wrong. I remember as a 17-year-old boy, we all used to sit. We were all born and brought up in Kolkata. We used to sit at street corners. We had something called Adda there. All of us would sit together and chat. Then my father used to come from that side and he will call one of us. And in this gang of about 17, 18, 15 were smokers. All 15 will hide the cigarette or throw it away. Why? A certain moral depth of this person, it is called tejas, creates a certain, they call it, abashedness. In Sanskrit, it is called Thri. Thri means abashedness. I am afraid to do wrong in the presence of such a person. Just imagine dignitarians with this kind of value in every family. Hey, where is the question of corruption? There is a question of broken families. There is a question of rift in the family. There is a question of dysfunctional homes. Ram, as a character, we should have the picture straight up in front and understand lives. Clarity of vision, depth of foundation in values and integrity, uncompromising pursuit of truth. That's Ram. Then it comes to interaction with people, when it comes to communication, when it comes to communication in particular. But precise and concise communication. Precise and concise communication comes to you from clarity of thinking. There is no loose thinking here. If thinking is loose, communication will be a problem. So, Dasharatha stands for good man, successful king, very successful king. But some one or two screws loose here. Sorry to use that expression. He tells his beautiful queen, you are so beautiful, you saved my life. You can ask for 3 boons anytime you want. She chose the correct time and he was finished. Loose thinking, poor communication. What was Ram's communication? Kaikeyi comes and tells him, your father has told me that you will not be crowned king tomorrow. You will not be crowned prince tomorrow. You will go to the father. You will go on exile. Ram goes and says, Mata, I've always called you Mata. Why do you have to use father's name to give me these instructions? Don't you have confidence in yourself? I will obey you. Tell me what to do. Okay. A person who values his words. Okay, Tamil is saying, he says, I will carry it up. And he goes immediately, not tomorrow, not next week, no travel, transit time, no time to pack the bags. He said, I am an exile, discard the royal clothes, wear ordinary clothes and leave. And look at the example Rama sets. When he is ready to leave, his wife Sita says, I will accompany my husband. Just imagine Sita married him, let's say 15 days ago, from a kingdom called Mithila. The queen of, she's the princess of Mithila, daughter of Janaka, royal, luxurious life. She did not say, "Main papa ke maike chali jaungi." She never said that. She said, "I'll go with my husband. I promise to stay with him. I'll stay." She'll be concentrating on their security. I can't take for you, take after you. I can't look after you. This wife makes another commitment. She is okay. I will live the same way that my husband lives. If the husband lives in forest, if the husband lives in forest, in the palace, I will live like as though I am in exile. I will live in a hut. And if he doesn't sleep for 14 years, I don't sleep for 14 years. Okay, and I just come and connect all this with one beautiful value which all of them can have. Then comes the third brother, Bharata. When he hears, he tells his mother, "Hey, what kind of a person are you? You sent Ram on exile. You have not understood your son well. You have not understood your son. You have assumed that your son is a selfish, greedy guy." And he runs after Ram. And Ram says, "Word given is given. I've told my mother, I've told my father that I will be on exile. I will be on exile." Bharat says, "How can I rule?" He says, "Yes, you can rule by proxy." He says, "Give me your paduka." And he takes that. Now let's connect all these three. Commitment. Commitment to a spoken word. Commitment to each other's welfare and overall welfare of the kingdom. If there was a dispute between the brothers, if the older brother said, "Nothing doing, I'm going to fight for my right," people are affected. For the sake of people, Ram says, "No, this is how I stand for. Tomorrow people will quote me as a Purushottama, so I'll stand for this." The younger brother says, "I'll stand for the same value." The next younger brother says, "I'll stand for the same value." Their wives stand for the same value. Let's take this as an absolute thing. Somebody once said, "Is it possible to follow all this?" My simple counter was like this. When ships sail, okay? When ships sail, they all look at the pole star for guidance. You can't reach the pole star, never in your lifetime. But it is always there showing you that this is the path. So if the Adarsha set by Rama and his brothers is the Adarsha for us, holding on to that GPS, we can navigate our path beautifully. That's a GPS to which I can hook. It'll say, "After 2 roads, turn right." Okay, we trust a voice. Some strange voice up there. We don't even know who the face is. Can't we trust a GPS called Ram? Who by conduct? There are 3 things very, very important in conduct. There is something called, first step is called, it is called vichara. Thought. What is your thought? The next is achara, conduct. The third is prachara. If vichara, achara, and prachara are in one alignment, you are Rama. As senior people, as people with our young family members looking up to us, our children, grandchildren looking up to us, suppose we are able to stand for V, A, and P. Imagine what kind of support system, what a lovely support system can we give. Some people say, "I'm not able to hear properly. My connection shows properly. It's about sound." I'll do something. I'll connect it to and put my earphones on. Just give me 2 minutes. I'll put my headphones so that you can. Yeah, sorry for the interruption, Jai Shri Ram. So, if as senior citizens, we stand for proper vichara, proper achara, proper prachara. Vichara is here, achara is in my hand, prachara is in my mouth. Can we align ourselves? What kind of, with India's population, where we form, the senior citizens form about 10 to 12% of India's population. And by 2020, we are going to form 30% of the population. That's about 40-50 crores. If this is going to be the bank of wisdom, you understand the glory of the nation. Whereas if this top brain is going to be weak, loose thinking, then we are going to have problems. So Rama stands for these qualities, beautiful qualities. Then he comes down, he moves, he comes down to further down, then comes to Kishkinda. In Kishkinda, before coming to Kishkinda, Sita is abducted. We'll go into the abduction a little later. I'm going to come to Kishkinda. We have come to Kishkinda. There is a crisis on hand. I am looking for somebody. Ram is the prince of Ayodhya. His brother is the ruling prince there. His son-in-law of the king Ram is in Kishkinda. In a crisis, do I look for help back home or do I tap local resources? If I have to tap for help back home, I have to get the armies from Ayodhya and Mithila to march down to Kishkinda. An army moves on its stomach, food for everybody, resource management. They have to familiar themselves with the local conditions, training and development for all these people, accommodation for all these people. Baba, as a visionary leader, managed crisis. He said, let me use local resources. Kishkinda is a forest land. He said, let me use the help of Vanaras. See, to call the Vanaras monkey is not right. Okay, monkeys take objection to that. Vanara is not a monkey. Vanara is somebody who is neither a man nor a monkey, animal. Some species in between. Okay. Many of us are behave like Vanaras at times. Like when the war comes, we will go. Okay, then somebody comes to distribute something, like they said, free tokens for 2,000 rupees. Everybody and his uncle will become a Vanara. Whatever be age, gender, income, you will all stand in queue for 2,000. Vanara. Vanara means this is not working, only this is working. So he took the help of the local people. They were quick in climbing trees. They knew the way around all these small things. When they had to catch that fellow dacoit Veerappan, they didn't call the army from Punjab. They took the help of the local fellows there. They knew how to run around all these street corners. So they take the help of the Vanaras, who know the local conditions well. Okay, there was again a dispute. See, another beautiful story of brothers. One set of brothers, Ayodhya. Another set of brothers come to Kishkinda. One brother, very strong fellow called Bali. And the younger brother is somebody who is pushed around kind of. Unfortunately, Bali got into a fracas and they did not know whether he was alive or dead. And they crowned Sugriva king. Bali turned. Sugriva said, brother, welcome. He said, what brother? You locked me inside, you took me for dead. And he kicked Sugriva out. So when Sugriva met Rama and told the story, Rama said, I will help you. No further thought. Pran jaye par vachan na jaye. I will help you. What was the common ground? So when in crisis, Please look for people with common problems. Okay, help will come readily. That's why these days when you have people suffering from terminal illness, there is a support group of terminal illness. People with some kind of children having disabilities, support group of children with disabilities. It's a support group. So he looks for a support group. What's a support group? Ram's wife was abducted. Sugriva's wife was also abducted. Only difference was Sugriva knew where his wife was, Ram did not know where his wife was. So common cause, you have sympathetic vibration. These fellows will sync well together. And he knows Sugriva, so always go for a common cause. So he went for a common cause, killed Vali. I will not, we need an exclusive episode, Vali Vadam is a separate episode. We will not go into that. He gave his word. Perhaps he may be wrong. He says, perhaps I may have violated something. But you are a Vanara, not a human being. So human values don't apply for us. And you have done a Mahapatakam. Mahapatakam is abducting another man's wife. When you abduct another man's wife, capital sentence, capital punishment. I have punished you. You abducted your brother's wife. Oh my God. That is capital O, capital. So this is a value we all have to learn. One important value. Never covet anything that belongs to the other person. Whether it be property, whether it be iPhone, whether it's another man's wife, I put it as spouse. Okay, it's not just the husband cannot covet another man's wife, but the wife, she can covet anybody else. No, it's a spouse. The spouse is not allowed. When the spouse coveted, when Surpanaka coveted Rama, another woman's spouse, she suffered. The story says that the nose was cut. Nose was cut only in the subsequent edited versions. Actually, when she threatened to move towards Sita, Lakshman pulled his sword out to stop her. Just to stop her. He didn't hit her. He's a Kshatriya. He wouldn't hurt a woman. He put the sword forward. And she hit her breasts against the sword and lost one of the breasts. So she was called a, the bimba. She became a bimba. And cutting off of a woman's breast is humiliating. She went to her brother for that. And that value runs in India's blood for a very, very, even now it runs. Coming back to the times of Alauddin Khilji. Khilji was to clear out, hesitated because there was a woman in front. And Khilji started. This is history. This is Indian history. The Indian army goes into other border areas to defend. There are no instances of rape. In fact, there's a beautiful story which I told another place. There was an Indian soldier in one of those skirmishes, border skirmishes. The Pakistani injured man dying called the Indian soldier. He said, unzip my tunic. There is a picture there. They are my wife and daughter. There is an address behind. Please post it and write there that I died with a bullet on my chest and not on my back. Then the Indian Sardar said, hey, why should I send? Why didn't you ask your fellows to send? He said, chhodiye sab, sab kaya hai. Aap jaisa bahadur koi nahi hai. The enemy calls me Bahadur. Remember, that is India. That comes from Rama. That comes from the legion of Rama. We should be proud of this Purusha. Rama is something that stands for glory of India. It's not just a temple. The glory of India is the Uttama Purusha. So this is how he promised. Came down and they are building a bridge to cross over to Lanka. She has been found. I'm not going so much details into the stories. After Ramayan explores few more characters as well. They are going to build a bridge to cross over to Lanka. Hanuman was a known strong man. Ram did not call upon Hanuman to throw the first stone. He called upon two of guys called Nala and Neela. Why Nala, Neela? They had special ability to make stones float. The story goes like this, that they had the ability to make stones float. As a leader, as senior citizens in our own families, can we identify among our grandchildren people with special abilities? Contribution we can make to the, I'm going beyond son and daughter, I'm going to grandchildren, because they are the ones who need support. See, in India, what happens, once upon a time, we lived in joint families. Therefore, we had no need for counselors and therapists. Now, joint family is gone, but need therefore, so many therapists and counselors, you have to pay 1,000 and 1,500 per hour. So we identified Nala and Neela. And there was a squirrel, you know. There's a squirrel. The squirrel helped in building the bridge. How did the squirrel do it? The squirrel used to, you know, put its body, roll in the mud. The mud will come onto it, and then it will go between the rocks and do the binding work. And in recognition of the squirrel's work, Ram patted the squirrel on its back. Those 3 strokes are left. So in a crisis management, if somebody helps you in crisis, if somebody helps you in times of need, please appreciate the person openly and leave a lasting impression for a lifetime, for a generation. Leave a mark like that. That's a squirrel, 3 things. Leave a mark. Wonderful thing. Now they have crossed over. They have crossed over, and some people say voice is breaking. I don't know. Maybe, you know, there is one more computer being used. Maybe that's the reason. I don't know. My daughter is doing an office
there
work.
is internet issue from your
I'm
side.
okay. Okay. No? From my side, once. Because my connection is showing stable. Occasionally it shows it's unstable. Maybe there's one more computer being used. That's the reason. Okay, fine. So now they have crossed over. Somebody has to go as an emissary. Okay, he is called the emissary, Duta. He has to go to the Rama court and say, look, we have come for this purpose. If you fulfill this purpose, we will go away without fight. Who will you send for this? Okay, normally we will say send best man. Okay, opening Virat Kohli ko bhejo. One down, Virat Kohli ko bhejo. Last man, Virat Kohli. No wonder one Virat Kohli scores a duck means everybody goes. Change. He says, no, there Nala, Neela, in one place, Anila. Anila means squirrel. And Hanuman to jump over the ocean as a sea. Now he identifies a fellow called Angada. Angada is the son of Vali. Vali and Ramayana and this fellow Ravana are 2 best friends. And to Ravana he sends Angada. Look at the confidence he reposes on that young warrior. So Angad goes to Vali, to Ravan, and says, I am Vali Putra, Angad. Ravan says, do you know I and your father were friends? And this fellow called Ram killed your father? And you are coming to fight for that fellow? Are you not ashamed? You should listen to Angad's dialogue. If you can look into Tulsidas Ramayan, read that. It's written in that bhasha. He says, Ravan, you remember once as a child, when I was in the cradle, you tried to show your smartness to my father. My father caught you by his tail, brought you and tied you in my cradle, and said, look at the 10-headed insect. Ram killed that Vali. Understand that. And you are talking about you and I friendship. So better surrender. Then Vali says, and Angad says, do something. Look at the confidence. Angad says, I will put my foot firmly on the floor. If any one of your courtiers can move my floor, we will all go back. You keep Sita. And look at the confidence of that young Turk. Nobody is able to move the foot. Ravan tries to move the foot. He said, wait, Ravan. If instead of falling at my feet, if you go and fall at Rama's feet, अरे जिंदगी बच जाएगी यार, किंगडम बच जाएगी, बचो यार, दिमाग 10 हाथ 10 सर है तुम्हारे. You have 10 heads, but you don't have brain even to hold in one head. सर है, दिमाग नहीं है. He said, सर रख के क्या करोगे? It is something for you and me. Labels, we have got, lot of labels on our head. It's sorry to mention. These days I don't use the expression retired officer of Reserve Bank of India. I don't need the label called Reserve Bank. Reserve Bank is brick and mortar, stone. I gave it existence. We are all hanging to label, retired GM Reserve Bank. That's only for pension's sake. And sometimes you come looking for me in my area, they may recognize. I should be known as I am. Why do I need labels? If at all I should be known as son of a land in which Rama was born. Not some brick and mortar building. That is Angada's strength. Ram Dhuta. Not Vali's son, Rama Dhuta. And he says, if you fall at the feet of Rama, a lot more uddhar ho jayegi. Okay, now let's go to another beautiful character there. I always do this when I hear of this character. And that character is called Sita Maya, Janaki, Vaidehi, Maithili. Newly married, comes to her husband's house, from a royal household to another royal household. On coming and getting married, her husband loses every bit of his property. What does the wife say? I have gone round 7 steps with you. Death do us apart. I will be with you. Cut our social media scene. My husband beats me. Put it in social media. My husband drinks. This is supposed to be put in social media. Instagram. I am in a toxic marriage. You're supposed to put it in. Somebody put it. I say, why don't you go and seek counseling? She tells me, what's your problem? I said, it's not my problem. It's my culture's problem. What happens in the house, it doesn't even leave my doorstep. And you're putting in a social media where everybody and his uncle is going to laugh at you. This is Sita. And when she came outside the firewall and was abducted by Ravan, neither Ram nor Lakshman found fault with her. Nobody said, why did she violate the firewall? She said she is a very intelligent person. Something must have happened which must have questioned her dharma. That's why she violated the firewall. She is not someone who would ordinarily disobey her husband. But if she has come out of the firewall, there must have been some question of dharma there. She is a dharma patni of Rama. She is not somebody who's just grains are spilled outside. Something has happened. They did not find fault with Sita. So the Ram who did not find fault with Sita on day 1 could not have found fault with on Agni Pariksha day or on the Gobi comment. That's a different thing altogether. We'll come to that. So Sita, she is in, unfortunately in cinemas, all these crybaby characters played Sita. We should have somebody strong play Sita. So Sita, Ravan comes. She picks up a blade of grass. She says, if you crossed this blade of grass, bhasma ho jaoge, you will be turned to ashes. The fellow was terrified. He didn't dare cross that. Look at her confidence. In crisis, if the man can occasionally be shaky, Ram was shaky at one point of time. He said, hey, Sita, where have you gone? He started to talking to the plants and deers and squirrels. He said, hey, Sita, where have you gone? In a crisis, if the man is shaky, remember the woman should be able to convert the blade of grass into fire. That is crisis management. Ram hilega nahi, hum usse zyada atal hain. I won't be shaken. That is Sita. Ravan says, Sita, do you realize I love you? She says, oh, really so? If you love me, send me back to the person I love. You know I love Ram. Send me back to him. So if you really love me. And look at her wisdom. Look at the women of the house should have wisdom. Man, resilience, capacity to bonds. Women should give him the wisdom to withstand the pressure. Sita was like that. Sita did another great role which is not publicized anywhere. When the war was going on, Sita managed the kitchen of Ravana's army. And she started cooking. This is my creation. Okay? This is not even, don't look for it in Ramayana. She started cooking amazing pulaus and good naan and things. And all the soldiers were thinking about coming back and eating and not fighting. So she weakened them by the kitchen. So even if you are in enemy territory, if you use this 6 inches of space here, we can do a lot of strategic crisis management. All of us, without exception in life, will face challenges. And any challenge is not easy to face, especially as we are growing older. There's a physical challenge. I am not as strong as I used to be physically. My eyesight is not as strong as it used to be. My hearing is not as clear. But are my values as strong? If that is so, the elderly man and his woman together can manage great amount of crisis which the younger generation is facing today. They have a lot of wealth. The wealth that the children are earning today, I could not earn in my lifetime. They are earning in 1 year now. They have a lot of wealth. But do they know how to live? Standard of living is good. What about the standard of life? Ram, Sita, these are the two people who are going to chat about the standard of life of people. Values. This is another beautiful episode. Vibhishana. Again, one set of brothers, Ram, Bharat, Lakshman, Vali, Sugriva. Let's look at the third set of brothers. Ravana, Kumbhakarna, Vibhishana. 3 brothers. Brother number 1, Ravana. You can see that prototype all over the country today. Okay. Lots of labels. 10 heads. No brain. Whatever good things you have, I want. There are a lot of people like this in our families also. Grandfather's property, I alone will take. What about you? I will not. So, greed for a property. Greed for all these gizmos. 10 heads. Whatever another fellow has, I must have. That is Ravana. See, Lanka did not belong to him. It belonged to his older brother. He coveted that. Mandodari was the daughter of another king. He coveted, brought her. He saw Sita, brought her. Anything other person must have, I must have. You have a red balloon, I want that red balloon. You want a yellow balloon, he wants a yellow balloon. 10 heads. But even such a fellow had a loyal brother called Kumbhakarna. And look at the dialogue that Kumbhakarna says to Ravana. Kumbhakarna says, if you had allowed me to sleep for 3 more months, I would have been invincible. Why did you wake me up? He said, no, Rama has come to invade. Why has he come to invade? Ravan could not look Kumbhakarna in the all 10 heads could not look into his 2 eyes. 20 eyes could not look into 2 eyes. Yeah, put his head down and say, I carried away his wife. He says, you carry away another man's wife and you want me to fight your wife. Not that movie, there's an action in that Kurmasar. But he says, I will fight. Because you are my brother, I would lay down my life for. But one thing is certain, I will die, I'm sure. Because in a dharma yuddha, it has never ever happened that adharma has won. So 50% of me have already killed by asking me to fight for a wrong cause. I'm dead, but I'll still fight. I would prefer to die in Rama's hands rather than in your hands. Because if I didn't fight, you as the king of this land can give orders to execute me. And you will do it, I know. A fellow who has no values and carried off another man's wife will keep the cause. Then one day Sita tells Rama, look at how they weakened him. She says, if you had fought Rama, defeated him, and told me, come with me, Sita, I would have come. You come at a time when Rama is out and you tricked him out of this place. So you know your 50% battle lost. You have to trick me. You cannot win a war. She psychologically finished him. Then he tells Meghnath, go and fight. Meghnath says, Papa, hua kya? Hum kyun lade? How can you face your son? Hey, imagine, an elderly person like me. Will you go and tell your son and grandchildren I'm in love with another woman? This person could not face it. He says, Papa, if Sita had come on her own, if you had defeated Rama, I would have given my life. But you carry her away and you want me to fight. And Mandodari tells him, are you not ashamed? This is Ravan's side. Look at Rama's side. How he is protecting his army. Because all of you are fighting for my cause, okay? Not your cause. So I will lead, arrow, all of you behind me. So in any issue which affects you directly, always take the lead. If it's a pension issue, you take the lead. Don't tell the grandchildren, you go and fight. Let's go fight. If it is property issue, your property, you take the lead. Okay, I had written in my biodata and I wanted to tell you, I have donated all my organs, okay? Every bit of my organs from my eyes downward is donated. And this is a decision I take. And I told my family, please respect that. Like that, there are decisions for which you should be responsible. You should take responsibility. Arrowhead formation. Then everybody falls behind you. Unlike Ravan, my problem, but you people fight. When Sita comes, Ram did not ask Sita to go through Agni Pariksha. Sita said, I would like to go through. Quite simply because I am the queen of this land. Whatever example I set, others will follow. So if you are arriving from Mumbai to Tamil Nadu, don't wait for the authorities to put you through negative positive test. You say, I would like to take a test. Here is my certificate. COVID positive, negative. That's what she said. Who knows what virus I am carrying? I was with so many Rakshasis dancing around me. One 10-headed virus was dancing around me. What kind of exposure I got? Who knows? Why should I take this exposure to my country? And some people, made a nice movie joined by people, who are pseudo-feminists. They made him walk through fire. There is a text which nobody objects, so everybody under his uncle is jumping on the text. She decided that in Ayodhya, Ram says go away. Ram never said go away. Ram said this is what people are speaking. She said I'll go away. Because as Raja Ram, he has responsibilities. As Sita Ram, he doesn't think of anybody else other than me. So if situation so demands, I will live away. Where is the problem? How many of you people are there, young people who are now put in so many years of life, when you were in transferable jobs? Did not our wives live alone with the children? Did you abandon them? Did you ask them to go away? She said, for the exigencies of the situation, I want to stay away. They say that some women said, see, Ram has abandoned me. She says, Ram has not abandoned me. And please understand, this is Ram Rajya. Even a mosquito is safe here. I have not been abandoned by anybody. That's called for the strength of will of a lady called Sita. A powerful character. Every character in Ramayan stands for great amount of commitment. Commitment to the word, commitment to values, commitment to vision. Ravan is, oh my God, such a glorious character. Glorious character in as much as so much of scholarship he had. He knew the Samaveda. He was a Veena player. His association with the Lord Shiva, he had such high contacts. But when it came to the moment of reckoning, when you fall from grace, can Ravana go and tell Shiva, I have carried away Sita, come and fight for me? So when we fall from grace, then this value, there is something called a line called value. If this value goes away, there's something beautiful, I like among the Vaishnavas. I put this nama. For me, value standing straight. Some people put the values like this. They say value is my base. Some people put it like this. They say value is my depth. That's why we put it here and here. That's why we never come without anything on our forehead. If this is our value, if this is the kind of commitment I have in life, what will crisis do to me? What we face in life is challenges. Some situation will come which will make us have to take an action. When you take an action, there will be outcomes. Okay? If the outcomes are comfortable, we are all very happy. If the outcome is troublesome, ayyo prarabdha. When you cannot face the outcome which is unpleasant, we call it a crisis. Or whatever you do, the solution in your favor, you call it a crisis. People's incomes are coming down, family incomes are coming down. People are getting affected. It calls for an action. It calls for an action. It calls for prudence. It calls for frugality. It calls for charity. It calls for supporting the Rajya in power, not weakening the Rajya. This is how crisis is managed. Rama is full of all this. When somebody is doing wrong, we have to point out, hey, you're doing wrong. Not saying that, hey, what if Rama rules or Ravana rules? Then you will be like that only. 10 heads with no brain. We have to. As there is a very beautiful verse in the Bhagavad Gita. This I will slowly conclude. We can open up questions. In the Bhagavad Gita, there is a verse which I will close. He says, Yadadacharati sreshtaha tat tat eva itaro jana saha yat pramanam kurute lokaha tas anvartate. Yet acharati sreshtaha. Sreshta means the sreshta purusha, the grown-up adult in the society. Forget the society in our houses. We are supposed to be grown-up adults. Yet acharati sreshtaha. The way we conduct ourselves. Tattateva itaro janaha. We will be inspired about what we do or not do. Tattateva itaro janaha. Saha yat pramanam kurute. Whatever he sets as standards, lokaha tat anuvartate. People will follow that. Beautiful Kabir Das quote. Jako rake saiya mar sake na koi. Bal na baka kar sake. Jag chahe bari hoye. So if you stand for strong values, nobody here koi hila nahi sakta aapko. Bal na baka kar sake. Jag sahib. They are very high values. We need not 100% stick to these values. But if these values are meant to there for us to be guided, if the values are there and if we can be guided by these values, there will be a quantum transformation in our lives. Our life moves through P, E, R, M, and A. P is basic pleasure. E is engaging pleasure, chai masti pleasure. R is relationship pleasure. From chai masti, we become closer friends. Okay, relationship pleasure. M is meaning. Hey, we do drama, we do competition, we sing together, meaning pleasure. Out of that comes awareness, perma, A, awareness pleasure. When I realize my potential as a human being, many of us in this position as elderly people in the society have done well. We have brought up our children well. We have brought up our children well. Now the only way to guide the children is in a unique kind of way. Not doing blah, 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 blah. Vichar is there. Prachar. Close. The problem is many of us do prachar. No vichar, prachar. In our time, tomato was available for 5 paise. You did not have 5 paise to buy tomato. Then prachar. Who wants to talk about your life? We all studied under street light. Somebody studied under street light for one day. They say he studied entire life under street light. Nobody wants prachar. Nobody can hear your vichar. But they can see your achar. Achar means not a pickle. Don't consider achar into pickle. Don't make it a pickle. Acharam, conduct. They can see your behavior. Rama, Purushottama Rama stands for acharam. Come what may, unshakable. If we as senior citizens can maintain dignity, voice, elegance, gentleness in our life, compassion, lovely values. Get up in the morning and smile at people. Hi child, how are you? Don't say grumpy fellow. Where is my coffee? Where is my newspaper? What is there in the newspaper? 2,501 gone to COVID. What is there in the newspaper? What is the newspaper? Who touched my newspaper? Who touched this? Is this more valuable or the child more valuable? The child drops this into hot water. What will you do? Condemn the child and make the child feel permanently guilty for the rest of the life. This is a contraption. I can buy it for a few thousand rupees, but I can't buy the child's mind for hundreds of thousands of dollars in generations. There is a value. I'm much younger to a lot of people here. There are so many seniors here. I seek your blessings. This acharam should reach not just our country, it should reach the world. It's meant for the world. Jai Shri Ram, Jai Hanuman. There are questions, anything I'd gladly like to answer.
Thank you, Mohan sir. Thank you so much for the simple and wonderful narration. This was a very different narration I heard so far. Yes, members, if anybody has to have any questions, please raise your hands. We'll unmute you.
I'll go to gallery view so that I can see people's faces.
Yeah.
I would like to see the person who is asking me a question. Anybody can ask any question.
Yes, Nagaraj sir.
Ramayana beautifully explained through the Ramayana characters by Sri Krishna.
It's so nice. I'm so touched. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Sir.
Yeah. Yes, Raji ma'am.
Yes, sir. What is said and done, Rama is the main, our admirer or whatever Lord, whoever it is. But that pushing Sita and Sita into the forest back, what is, I want to know some meaning for that.
It is quite simple. Okay, I will tell you a beautiful meaning for that. It's again a story which I read somewhere. They say one day Sita was pregnant and Kaushalya was combing Sita's hair. And Sita was narrating, oh, Ashoka Vana, oh, Ravana used to come with 10 heads, big mustache, sword in hand. He used to do Bharatanatyam like Rudra Pandavam. Rama said, oh my God, if she continues this thought for the next 7 months, my son will be born like Ravana. Send her away without explanation. She will think and say, oh my God, who will give socks to Ravana? Who will give cornflakes to Rama? Who will give a handkerchief to Rama? That stupid fellow cannot even match his trousers and pant. You know, when the wife is pregnant, she is sent away from the husband because she's constantly living in her husband's thought. The fetus will develop with the husband's glorious qualities. Purushottama Rama knew. They say Lava and Kusha looked like Rama and behaved like Rama. And one more beautiful explanation, he didn't send her to a forest. It was not our corporate jungle living in old Mahabalipuram road. It was Rama Rajya. Even mosquitoes were safe there. She went into Vasishta ashram. What Vasishta was a fellow, as a teenager, he protected Rama, who gave education. So when I am going away on a long tour, I prefer to send my wife to my teacher, who I know will take better care of her than even my parents. So please, let's not go into that local political episode. He sent her there. Even if he sent, he did it proper. I don't question my Rama. He's standing in depth of foundation. My father gave me a slap when I was young. Do I question him? I'm marching. That one slap turned me away from smoking for the rest of my life. It happens, how many of us, my father used to give me one look. At 50, at the age of 50, I used to be scared of my father. I was afraid to drink water in beer bottle. Father is saying, what is that? Papa, water. Pa. That's it. Rama is a glorious Uttama Purusha. Purusha Uttama. He can't do wrong. Okay. That is my strong opinion.
Hello.
Sir. Sir.
Anybody? Yeah. Who's next? Yeah. Sumitra. So sorry, I always remember Jayalakshmi.
Yes, Ramayan, yes, sir. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, anybody? Yeah.
Sir, in this value system, how do we explain Kaikeyi's conduct? She is creating a crisis for the whole family, and then she is not punished in any way.
Kaikeyi created crisis. Now, what is the punishment a mother can get?
No, she didn't behave as a mother.
Yeah, she didn't behave as a mother. She behaved as Bharata's mother. Okay. Bharata came and told her, if you use Tamil, Neela or Amma. And Bharata said, nobody will ever name his daughter Kaikeyi. Tell me any person who would like to name your daughter Kaikeyi. Is that not punishment enough?
Yes.
There is Sumitras in the family. There are Kaushalyas in the family. Will you name your daughter Kaikeyi? Ayyo, Kaikeyi. The son told her, oh, you are a mother. Ayyo. You sent Rama away. What kind? You didn't understand your son. That is punishment enough. I don't have to be punished and watch her be screwed in public. I don't want that. The son cursing is enough.
Yes, very good.
Thank you, Ramesh. Yes, Nagaraj, sir, please go ahead, sir.
The mother
Nagaraj,
can't take the
sir.
curse
Yes.
of the son.
Hello. You are given a very nice lecture,
Yeah.
and we would like to hear more of your lecture. So if you give some links for that, you'll be fine.
I check first. I will send you all my YouTube talks.
Okay, fine.
I've got regular Bhagavad Gita lectures, about 30, 40 talks are there.
Yeah.
I will give you all of them.
Okay, thank you very much.
One more thing, sir, I would request, please don't call any of my thing a lecture, because I don't lecture.
Okay, then what should I call it?
Simple thought sharing,
Okay, fine. Yeah, fine.
offering on the feet of Rama.
Okay,
I am
okay.
talking about the glory of that verse, Purushottama.
Yeah.
It is my worship to Rama.
Okay, that's fine.
It is my worship to the Vedic culture.
Mr. Mohan Krishnan, how do you, what to put for, say, watch your videos?
Okay, I will send you the link. I will send the link to Felicita. She will pass it on to all of you.
Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay.
Sir,
Yes, Rajapan, sir.
Yes, Jayashree Madam Boliye.
Rajapan,
Jayashree Madam Boliye.
right.
yes, Jayashree.
Yeah, sir, I like your example that joint family gives the counseling.
Oh, yeah.
Really good.
See,
Yes.
when I had problems, we used to go to our Chacha ji, Tau ji, Mama ji. Ab kahan hai sab?
नहीं है sir.
नहीं है ना. अब there used to be one character called Phoopa. अब Phoopa को ढूंढने म्यूजियम जाना पड़ेगा. Phoopa है ही नहीं. अरे जब बुआ होगी तभी ना होगी Phoopa. सब सिंगल फैमिली हो गए.
Right, sir.
So I do.
Really good. I liked it. Everything I liked.
Thank you, Jayashree. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, Jay Lakshmi.
Mohan, there is no questions actually, but I really liked your talk and everybody enjoyed your talk. It was very nice hearing you, and we would all like to hear more talks from you in different subjects.
Sure.
Mohan, sir, can you give me 1 minute?
Sure, Rajapan. Sure. Rajapan, sir, yes.
The way you have given, Raman's family brothers, Sugrivan family brothers,
Correct.
Ravana family brothers. It was such a good comparison, and the behavior of the brothers nicely developed and presented. Thank you very much.
Yes, Vasanta Subramaniam, ma'am, please go ahead, ma'am.
There are others.
Vasanta
Yes, Vasanta
Subramaniam,
madam,
ma'am,
yes.
please unmute me. Ma'am, unmute
Call her
yourself,
Amrita,
please
she'll
unmute
speak.
her.
The moment you say Amrita, she'll speak.
Okay, Amrita.
Okay. So I'll call you Ravi.
Oh, yeah.
A very contrasting picture you presented today from what the play we did. Everything is very nice. I really enjoyed it. The only one question I'm asking. Rama asking Sita to go in the fire. Is it justified?
Okay. Rama did not ask.
Is it not depicting his, that lack of confidence in Sita?
He did not ask her to take a fertility test. Please understand that. He did not ask her to take a fertility test. Agni Parisha here stands for going through some appropriate screening. Suppose somebody landed from Bombay to Chennai today, I would say stay 14-day quarantine and come inside. Where is your mask? Where is your gloves? Where is your sanitizer?
So that is meant for public.
No, that is meant for Sita also.
Is it going against Nari Shakti?
No, nothing. He has.
I saw a dance performance.
He had
where
told
Sita,
1 minute.
Sita
Madam.
is asking.
He had so much confidence in Nari Shakti, he knows that fire will not do anything to her. And the story goes that when Sita came out, fire came and begged Rama, you burnt me, not Sita. So this dance performance, anybody will do anything, They made one drama in which they say Padmini is in love with Alauddin Khilji. What a rot. And whole of India protested. That is artistic license. We should allow. One fellow will come and say, I want to make a movie in which Sita is singing duet with 10-headed Ravana. Kamala Hassan will play all the 10 heads and they will dance. Telephone, Manipur, he will say that is dance. That is what media is doing.
आधा कप से भी कम कॉफी बना देगी strong.
हमें भी कॉफी चाहिए. So please let us not go by social media. Let us not go by paid press, which is programmed to destroy Vedic culture. They want you to be ashamed of Rama.
Yeah, but sir, he did not believe in Sita, right?
No. He believed in Sita. He knew fire will not do anything to her.
No, that is true, but he believed in that Dhobi who told him. That's sad about Rama, right?
See, there is, let's say I am the Prime Minister of this country and somebody talks against my family. I'll say, yeah, inquiry commission bitha do. That's all he did. And he said इंक्वायरी कमीशन बिठा दो. He said एक काम करो, मुझे इंक्वायरी कमीशन नहीं चाहिए, आपको सीता नहीं चाहिए. She will live safely in a forest. जब तक आप लोग लेसन नहीं. See one more thing. Rama is a पुरुष उत्तम धर्म. हम धर्म पालन करने के लिए अपनी फैमिली की सैक्रिफाइस करेंगे. I will sacrifice my personal family life for the sake of my kingdom.
Okay.
And Sita happily went away. वो आप निरूपा राय को देख के मत जज कीजिए कि सीता वाज क्राइंग. वो ड्रामा में दिखाना पड़ेगा ना. अरे राम तुमने मुझे भेज दिया, क्या गलती किया? All the drama I have to do. She said Raja Ram can send me away. Sita Ram से मैं कभी दूर नहीं हो सकती. See what happens is, see, छोड़िए public को, छोड़िए cinema को. Please have confidence in our own Rama, our own Ramayana. The problem is हमने छोड़ दिया रामायण को, and the Westerners are having fun. It is like, you know, somebody comes and says India is a dirty place. We'll say, you have not seen. Come, I will show you even dirtier corners. Okay, whereas you go and tell somebody that देखो, you try, you try. Japan में जाके बोलिए कि I found a piece of dust in the road. The entire nation will clean the dust and say कहाँ है dust. Here we are waiting for others to point out. देखो देखो तुम्हारा रामायण में problem है. हाँ राम में problem है. You are happy, no? So राम में problem. Somebody comes and tells my mother is faulty, and I will say yes, my mother is faulty. हम uncompromising राम के बारे में कुछ उल्टी बात सुनेंगे नहीं. हम लोग कितने लिबरल है ना. आप राम को गाली दो, सीता को गाली दो, मेरी अम्मा को गाली दो, मेरी वैदिक कल्चर को गाली दो, हम बोलेंगे आप ग्रेट हो. This is our problem. हम लोग वीक हो गए. We have to look at the fellow से क्या बोला आपने. गलती से किसी तमिलियन ने नॉर्थ में बोल दिया तमिल तेरी माँ, वो बिगड़ गया. अरे मेरी माँ तमिल नहीं है, मेरी माँ पंजाबन है. छोटी वो बोला अरे तू मेरी माँ को तमिल बोलता है, वो पंजाबन है यार. तो वैसा है कि हमें अगर किसी ने हमारे वेद, हमारे भगवत गीता, हमारे ब्रह्म सूत्र, हमारे वैदिक कल्चर की तरफ आंख भी, वो आप गाना याद रखिए. There was a movie called हकीकत. इसमें they made a movie हकीकत. उसमें एक लास्ट सॉन्ग है, कर चले हम फिजा जानो तन साथियों. उसमें लास्ट में लाइन है एक. ओके, इतना याद रखे, खींच दो अपनी खूं से जमी पर लकीर, इस तरफ आने पाए न रावण कोई, तोड़ दो हाथ अगर हाथ उठने लगे, छूने पाए न सीता का दामन कोई, राम भी तुम ही लक्ष्मण साथियों. ऐसे गाने हमें अपने बच्चों को सिखाना चाहिए. अरे सीता की तरफ आंख उठाओ तो तुम्हारे आंख फोड़ देंगे. राम के बारे में बात करो तो जिह्वा काट देंगे. वी शुड बिकम मिलिटेंट. वाहे गुरु तलवार निकालो. राम के बारे में बात करो तो हम छोड़ेंगे इनको, दुम्स कर देंगे. हम लोग गाली दिया था, हाँ बाली, हाँ बाली कायर है, इसके पीछे भी बाली को मारा. We are supplying material. Rama weak hai. Let us defend. I will not agree. Sorry, I am very sorry.
Sir,
thank you, sir.
All these values we are listening today and then going tomorrow. Okay, we are senior citizens.
You listen to these values and practice them now.
No, correct. But how to transmit it to our children and grandchildren?
Stories. Make them listen to stories. I will conduct a storytelling workshop for all our senior citizens. Please tell stories to your family.
Yes, sir. Please.
Okay, please tell. I have only one appeal to make. Each one of you donate money to Dignity Foundation. हमको कुछ नहीं चाहिए. Let each one of us donate 1000 rupees to Dignity Foundation. कल ही workshop कर देंगे.
Okay, we will.
I will train each one of you to do stories of Ramayan, Mahabharat, Kabir Das, Dohe, then our Akbar, apna Birbal ke. I will tell you I will give you 100 stories to be told in families. Let us make. हम लोग डिग्निटी फाउंडेशन को स्ट्रांग बनाए.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Next, we'll move on to Rekha D.
Okay.
Rekha, please go ahead.
Yeah. Yes, Rekha. Rekha saw my drama as well.
Jai Shri Ram.
Jai Shri Ram.
Very, very energetic, sir. I was very it goosebumps to me because I could see the depth. I could see I could see the patriotism. I could see your lot of things which I really love it. Sir is stuck, or I am stuck.
Yeah, that's not okay. I think there's a little. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, sir. Yeah. Sir, sir, as the values, no, we need to remember, recall it through these stories or by going through the Ramayana Mahabharata again and again. That is what I was thinking. Yes. And already 2 questions were similar to that. So my question is that only that how do we imbibe all these qualities, values in our next generation?
Yes,
so that
very correct.
We need to, this practice of listening or doing something has to happen so that it gets imbibed into them. When they are doing something wrong, they have to recall some character and say that this is how I need to be. They can have one character as, to mentor themselves as, keep them as role model for their life.
I'll share with you a small psychological trick. When the children ask you questions, don't ever tell them you lack Shraddha. They are very intelligent. They are questioning. They are influenced by the Western media. First tell them your question is valid. Can we look for answers together? Can you assure me that you are open enough to look at a proper answer? They will come to our side. हम लोग स्टार्ट करते हैं no, you have no Shraddha. They will say, as it is, घर में ही enemy बैठा है, why should I go outside? So my children also ask me questions. In fact, they ask me more questions because they say, you talk to public, बहुत भाई लोग तुम्हारी ताली बजाते हैं, हम बताते हैं आ जाओ घर में. हमारी maximum घर में बजाते हैं लोग. My children argue with me. I tell them, your questions are valid. Your thought process is valid. अरे आखिर तुम हमारे बच्चे हो ना. मेरे thought ऐसा है 50 years ago. तो तुम्हारा आज का इससे ऊंचा होगा. I would love to answer your questions. I would like to answer your friends' questions. सबको लेके आओ. एक दिन सत्संग बुलाइए घर में. Call for a Zoom. Talk करते हैं. We will have a talk. And at the end of the talk, 30 में 28 को convert करके वापस भेज देंगे.
So nice.
You have to have that. See, kan mein Ram. So like Kabir Das, मैं राम को देखने चला. Okay. फिर कुछ दिन बाद क्या हुआ? राम मैं नजर नहीं आया. जित तेकू तित तू विश्राम ही नजर आ रहा है. कबीर खो गया.
One question, please. One question, please.
Yes, please. Yeah.
See, you said you mentioned about the joint family system.
Yeah.
That the advantage of tolerance.
Yeah.
Now, the present day generation, they don't have tolerance at all. So, how to get back this tolerance into
who did they learn intolerance from?
Pardon?
Who did they learn intolerance from? Please understand, children don't listen to you, but they copy you.
Yeah, that's correct. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
In the past, suppose your coffee had half a spoon sugar less.
You shout.
What did you tell your wife? Didn't your mother tell you how to make coffee? Did you ever tell your wife, कोई बात नहीं यार, कॉफी में शक्कर डालो या नमक डालो, तुम्हारे लिए हम कुछ भी खाएंगे. Suppose we had told my wife, see, it doesn't matter, तुम जहर भी डाल के दो, हम पिएंगे. Then the child will learn, oh my God, what a father, yeah. But a little bit of salt, you start abusing the wife's grandmother onwards. None of you know how to make rasam. So see, first, very important, as dignitarians, as people in our 60 plus, respect our spouse like Rama respected Sita.
Yes.
And that is where the foundation of the family starts.
But sir, they don't stay. Young generation don't stay with us.
कोई बात नहीं. Let them stay physically far away. It is like a kite. That उसका मजा है उड़ने में, लेकिन डोरी आपके हाथ में है. Okay, always remember the fun. How would you like a child sitting at home doing cycle repair shop outside your house? You love your son to be, chairman of Google, chairman of this. Google will not become in Chennai and Pune ke bhai wo Kut road mein nahi aayega Chennai mein. Google means he has to go to America. But the dory, that resham ki dory should be in your hand. One tug, the child should come back. Emotionally, he should be with you.
They are not.
We should build. They will be provided. We have to learn to love them unconditionally. अब हम लोग क्या हो गए ना? We are like an ATM machine. कार्ड डालो, नंबर डालो, पासवर्ड डालो, निकलेगा. We have to tell them, अरे तुम प्यार करो या ना करो, I love. My blessing is there. May you always be abundant. Let's start this. Close your eyes, think of your family and tell them, may there be abundance. May there be lots of happiness. May there be lots of good health. Tum dur raho, lekin khush raho. See, there are, once I think I told this story, I don't know in this forum, we bring up children in various ways. One is like a cat. Cat, till the eyes are open, the cat takes care of the kitten. The other is like a monkey. The monkey tells the baby, "Are mujhe pakdo, I will keep jumping all over the place." The third is like a fish. Lay the egg and watch it from here. The fourth is like a tortoise. Eggs are laid in Bay of Bengal. The tortoise goes away and lives in Iceland. Man hi man mein, the control is there. See, the bond of affection, the bond of love, respect should come through our Ramayan, our Vedic culture, our heritage. I don't want Father's Day greeting. Forget him for 364 days. On the 365th day, Swiggy aake cake dega. What? I don't want all these greetings. If the morning he thinks of me before doing something wrong, he says, "Nahi yaar, my father doesn't approve of this. My father doesn't approve of this language. My father doesn't approve of money made this way. My father says it's not important how much you make, it's important how you make. My father says it doesn't matter what you do, it matters how you do." Uske liye na we should be jnana sagara. This place should be overflowing with knowledge. The problem is this place is not overflowing with knowledge. This place is overflowing with complaints. Tumne hame pucha nahi. You have not replaced my computer. You have not got me gizmo. You have not got me this. अरे सेंट अभी तक नहीं के खरीद करके दिया. अभी तक मुझे एक बॉटल विस्की खरीद करके नहीं दिया. We should be like distributors and not consumers. करके देखिए. I don't want to lecture. करके देखिए. Make a small change, 1 inch here, and Pravaha will come from that side. Because these days, the grandchildren, the next generation, which is under 35, needs inspiration. When we all acted on our Dignity Theatre and acted, you know how much response came from the youngsters? They said, they all clapped and said, "Arey, kitna masti hai, you're enjoying life." They want us to enjoy life. And then we are not enjoying life. Okay, we are worried about all this. Because there are two types of creases, There are one type of crease which is called worry lines. There is another type of lines here. These are called laugh lines. Let us have lot of laugh lines. Let my face become wrinkled, earned, not worry lines. Every morning 6:30 I run a meditation. Anybody who wants can join that. I will remove all your worry lines. I'll make you all smile. That's not true. We don't even know how long we'll live. We don't even know whether I'll be giving another talk. Okay, grains of sands are running out. We have to live so gloriously that the children are inspired to live well. India has a population of 130 crores. 65% is under 35. Look at the blessing we can give them through Ramayan. Whenever next convenient, I'll do stories from Mahabharata. I will tell you Kabir Das ke dohe, wonderful we'll have. We'll all sing together Kabir Das dohe. I will tell you stories with Kabir Das dohe. We can have a lot of fun. There are certain simple habits we can introduce. Every morning, 15 minutes of meditation. 15 minutes of loud prayer. Loud prayer, not silent prayer. Loud prayer. There is a song I sing every morning, 15 minutes. Loud prayer. Okay. Then habits like, writing down your journal. Not complaining, daughter-in-law did this, mother-in-law did this, what did this thing. All small thing happened. Somebody picked up, somebody called you, greeted you, somebody did something for you. Small things. Chote cheezon mein na, let's find ananda. These small drops will become a big sagar. It is. I call myself happiness coach because of this. I want infection hona chahiye. All of us should be infected by happiness. That's the kind of joy we should be able to exude. Let us make a vow that we will try. Koshish karte hain. Let us try. What is wrong in trying? Achha hi to hai. Anybody? There's a hand I saw. Whoever wants to speak. Yes. Anybody? Anybody wants to speak? Some hand?
Okay, thank you. I think everybody have done with their questions.
Thank
you, Mohanji. Thank you so much. I request Kasi sir.
1 minute, madam,
Yes,
1 minute.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, Prema ma'am. Yes, please.
Yes, so Mohanji very
Prema,
well
madam.
explained that the mantra for
Ah.
the younger generation as well as the older generation also. Achara, Vichara, Prachara. See
Correct.
what a beautifully thing you have explained. Whatever is there in, we have every person has head but no brain, and every person knows what to do, but how to do we don't know. How to bring it into prachara also was not good, not at all known. Those mantra you have taught us in a very well, beautifully you have explained, and even for the younger generation also, you could teach all these things and all. And one sentence which inspired me was, in our days, what you said, in our days, we never need any counselors. But the present day people, present day younger generation need counselors for everything.
Everything. Correct.
The real thing what you have told was really applicable to every younger generation. For every small, even minute things, they need counselors, they need physicians, they need some experts, they need Google. But in our days, it was not at all there. In our house only, everything was available.
Yes, yes.
So that is what we were getting the lessons. That is what the big advantage of joint family.
Yes.
Very well explained, sir. Very well. We need such talks again and again. Thank you so much.
All these counselors are born because of the software boom.
See, my grandmother also had a huge great software. She used to make hand murukku,
Yeah.
Perfect 3 lines, no out of shape. What software? It was only here, no?
Right.
And while making that, she used to counsel. Multitasking she was doing.
Yes.
She used to make nice sweets and things. We never, for Diwali, I don't remember buying anything outside. These days we buy only outside. So the beauty is that Vedic culture. First of all, we have to rename ourselves. We are not Indians first. So these kind of, so much of Vedic culture doesn't mean books. Vedic culture means something which is valued for all times to come. Simplicity, awareness, bhaichara, good achara, good vichara, maintaining physical discipline. See, I mentioned about Hri. To do something wrong, I should be ashamed. See, once upon a... Yeah, police.
Sir, will those days come back again?
I don't know. We can make it. Ram Rajya, we can bring it back. After Kali Yuga, Satya Yuga has to come. Why wait that long? Do it today, no?
Yeah.
Start making Satya Yuga in my house, our house. Who stops you?
Yeah, correct.
Krishna says, if you want to create Satya Yuga, even I cannot stop you. If you want to do Kali Yuga, even I cannot stop you from doing that. Like Duryodhana. Duryodhana says, I know what is wrong, but I can't stop from doing. I know what is right. I can't stop from to do the right thing. We need to bring Krishna into our lives. We need Ishvara into our life. We need to bring Rama into our lives. That doesn't mean religion. That means conduct. Achara, vichar, achar, prachar, VAP. P, A, P. This has to be in line. Listen to lots of stories. You organize regular, I will tell you 10 stories one day in which you can laugh a lot and think a lot.
I think our topmost leader is following whatever you have told, Rama.
As of now, I don't know.
No, correct. There is nation is first.
Yeah.
Rest, all the rest next.
Yeah, correct. That is how it is.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Yes, Tasin sir, please go ahead with your reply. Thanks.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Alistair. I'm delighted to have this opportunity of Thanksgiving. First, I will start with Jayadas for introducing Mohan in such a nice fashion. Then, of course, I have seen a lot of postings in the chat giving a lot of feedback. I'm sure Mohan also would have seen it, or he may see it later. But the way that interaction between the members and Mohan was something wonderful today, which is I have not seen in other programs. And a lot of faces which I have come to know recently, like Nagaraj from Bangalore, Jayalakshmi from Bangalore, Lalita Iyer from Bangalore, or Ramani Iyer from Vashi, Shiva Rudrappa, all these faces, when they are coming to the program which is conducted by Chennai chapter, I am very much delighted. And I saw Anil from Indore, my recent friend, he has also attended. It was very good program. And Mohan, of course, nobody need to say anything more than the members themselves have expressed how with humor he has brought about. Everybody knows Ramayana, everybody knows Mahabharata, but the way that he has selected the crisis management topic and giving a relevant to the issues or the characters from Ramayana was wonderful, and everybody enjoyed. So I don't have to add anything new to that. Isn't it, Mohan? Everybody has expressed themselves the way on the chat, number of them, and also while talking to him during the interaction. And Mohan's depth of knowledge and the wide subjects he was taking from the movies, songs and all that, singing and telling those relevance to the subject was something extraordinary. Thank you very much, Mohan, on behalf of Chennai chapter, and I thank each one of you for having attended this more than 1.5 hours, and he kept us tied down.
Let us do some Zoom action we all learned,
Yes, that's very correct.
Heart.
Thank you very much.
Wonderful.
Bye.